Oh,
It's literally dripping oil. Remember when I did that spark plug video? Oh, I got it!
never a good sign when you got these tools out. Oh boy. I wiped them out. I didn't see anything. It's 10 o'clock and Kennedy installed the dampener for us. Thanks, Kennedy.
He
Shout
called me.
Brady for the tool.
He called me and said, "Kennedy, I need your help."
We need an expert.
Yep, expert at these Coyote engines.
10 o'clock Friday night. We got plenty of time, baby.
Yeah.
Fire up tomorrow.
Just a few days before 2K. Ain't nothing like it, you know?
It's normal shit around
Normal
here. Get the jumper. Look at that. I'm going bald. This is no joke. This TX2K make you go bald. Let me turn off the welder. It's a little obnoxious. Never done so many goddamn cross bolts in my life. So, if you guys don't know, twin turbo cars this year at TX2K have to have cross bolts and finishing. Gotta do nicks. I did Lonzos. I did Barry's. I think I showed you guys that in a video. I don't know if you can see them. So these are cross bolts. Essentially, keeps the turbine wheel from hitting somebody. So it's been a long last couple days, and I didn't even film everything because I was so goddamn stressed out. Yeah, I don't know. Barry's car made a pass weekend ago. Everything looked good, looked great. Turned the car down. It acted better than it ever had. So we turned it up, and then the tire shook. And when I did the burnout, I noticed there's something kind of off. I did the burnout and it would die, and I'd have to keep giving it throttle to keep the car going, which never had to really do that before. So thought that was odd, but it got on the two-step just fine. It bumped, did everything. It launched just fine, but then the tire shook about 60 foot out, or right before the 60 foot ended. And then once we got it back, we looked at, we cleaned everything up, fixed a few things, and ever since then, it's been really hard to start. Really hard to start, idles like crap, just signs of something mechanically wrong. So, had Joe come over, look at the tune, played the tune a little bit, and the car would just not idle. You had to keep giving it throttle, throttle, throttle. So odd, because it didn't need that before. And then I had trouble, like I said, I had trouble starting. So signs of maybe low compression or something mechanically wrong in the engine. So we did some diving into it. Talked to Will at RPG. He's like, maybe the exhaust seals are bad, because we pulled the plugs and there's two plugs that were really, really filled with oil. Like, it was really bad. But we also had a crankcase pressure issue. Essentially, so when you have a methanol car, you run a puke tank in the back because there's so much blow by. So you run a puke tank in the back, pretty large tank, like 5-7 gallon tank. And essentially the lines that we had with the mix of methanol and the thick ass oil we run, the 20W50, the lines are pretty much like gummed up. And we didn't realize that until I looked at a video from the past, and usually the puke tank is steaming out. And I noticed it wasn't steaming out. And so we knew that the crankcase pressure wasn't getting out. So then it blew the cap off the valve cover, and that's why we had that problem with the second pass, and we had to makeshift the valve cover, clean up all the oil that went everywhere. I mean, oil was over everything. So we think when that all happened, oil got into some places it shouldn't go. And so we thought we hurt an exhaust valve seal possibly with all that crankcase pressure. So Friday, took the engine apart, took it down to the short block, make sure nothing was hurt, nothing was scored. Everything in there looked good, but we changed the exhaust valve seals on cylinder 5 and 6 just to be safe, because that was our, that was our thought, was that had to be what was bad, because everything else looked pretty normal. So put it back together, put the head gaskets back on, put the head back on, retimed everything, cleaned everything out really good, got all the oil out of it, and I don't know, it was a miracle. Because when we first started it up, it was not good. And then we went back to an old tune, played with some TPS settings, played with the set cable, or the set screw, and changed the plugs back to new ones, and I don't know. It's a miracle. It's running again. So, but the engine looks good. It's just weird because we did a leak down test, and it did not come out good, and now it comes out good. So obviously we fixed something. Maybe it was the exhaust valve seals, or we just need to get all the oil out and let everything heat cycle and get everything back to expanding and contracting, and maybe it's sealed back up. So right now though, the car actually is acting very happy, even at idle, and it doesn't need any throttle response to get it started. It just starts right up like it normally does. Idles beautifully. It sounds good. And we never had any weird sounds anyways from the engine. Even when it was idling bad, like the engine itself mechanically sounded good. Nothing sounded like it was, bent or not getting oil or whatever the case. Everything sounded really good. So engine sounds healthy. Everything sounds healthy. We've ran it a few times on the two-step just to make sure, and this bitch is ready. So Barry's car is ready. It was a long, like 24, 36 hours. Me and Anthony knocked it out. Joe came through, helped us out at the end, and cleaned up the tune and got it all set. So this baby's ready. Joe's working on, so just because I've been so busy, I was going to do the cross bolts and stuff on Bob's and fix the bump, but Joe took Bob's car home, did that stuff for me so he could help me out because we're just running out of time since we had to get Barry's done. Nick's is pretty much ready to go. I just got to finish up the cross bolts. Lonzo's has been ready to go. It's just been chilling. And then my truck. We have to do the cross bolts in my truck, but mine's pretty much ready to go. Just got to maintenance everything, check the fluids on everybody's stuff, nut and bolt it, make sure it's ready to go. But we are headed to TX2K with a lot of cars. So we got Nick's twin turbo Mustang, Lonzo's twin turbo Mustang, Barry's twin turbo Mustang, Bob's twin turbo Mustang, and my twin turbo truck. And then Kevin's going out there. They're going to have a booth and selling shirts and energy drinks, and he's bringing both his demons, so that's pretty cool. But we'll see you guys at TX2K. It's been a long fucking weekend. And I'm still here, but I'm chilling. See you guys on the next one. One last note. I usually don't post stuff like this, but I've lost people close to me. But this one, if you're in the car community, it hurts pretty bad. TJ Bailey, super, super awesome dude. Always has been there for us and a ton of other racers. I know that guy has a deep, deep drag racing background, but if you guys don't know, he's pretty much the go-to prep guy at these events at the Dallas, Texas Motorplex. And probably pretty cool thing for me is when I broke the stock motor record in this car, 4 or 5 years ago. He was there prepping as one of his private rentals he was doing at the Motorplex, and he always would line me up, make sure I was in the groove, which he does for everybody because he's just a freaking awesome guy. And so just a lot of history there. I mean, I only would see him when we're obviously at the Motorplex racing or see him at another track or event, but Really, really good, genuine guy. It's hard to meet people like that. I swear, that guy, if you ever saw him, he was always smiling, always in a good mood. And I'm sure, dealing with us racers is not the most easy task. But man, that guy, I swear, if you look at any photo or ever saw him walk around the track, that guy he was happy all the time. And sucks to lose someone like that. I feel bad for his wife and kids, and I think it's going to hurt the racing community a lot. But I know they're going to dedicate this TX2K to him. Probably should name it TJX2K. Somebody said that. It's pretty funny. But super awesome guy. He's been around us in Coyote Direct since the beginning, which is really cool. And he was just always looking out for us. He'd always send me a message randomly just to check in on me, see how the cars were doing. Sometimes I wouldn't even look to see if there was a rental. He would just message me and say, hey, just so you know, we're having a rental if you want to get in on it. Just always looking out for people. He always looked for everybody's best interest, and super awesome guy. It's hard to lose somebody like that. So rest in peace, TJ Bailey. Prayers to his family. And like I said, it's a tough person to lose. He's just one of the best people I've met. So y'all say prayers for his family, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Well, guys, that's a wrap on the truck and the changes for TX2K. We're sending the truck down. We got a bunch of cars coming with us as well. It's going to be a super awesome time. If you guys are in Dallas, come on out. Texas Motorplex, TX2K 25. It's going to be a good time. Check us out, coyotedirect.com. If you need any parts, see you guys on the next one.